We all like drawing cards, yeah? Well, how about giving your opponent that chance but punishing them for doing it? This flashy deck is full of sweet combos built around just that. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today I've got a real gem for you. Get ready to spread the word because I've got my favourite deck in Standard. It's a deck I believe is so underrated, it's practically a hidden treasure. So our whole synergy in this deck revolves around the often overlooked Academy Loremaster, a 2-drop 2/3 that allows players to draw an extra card in their draw step. Now this sounds too good to be true, right? Well, there's a catch. Spells cast this turn will cost 2 more. But fear not, because 99% of our cards in our deck are played at instant speed on our opponent's turn, nullifying Loremaster's downside, for us anyway. Every turn we seem to put our opponent in a bit of a pickle. The real magic though happens when we pair Loremaster with our only non-flash creature we have in our deck, Sheoldred. Suddenly Loremaster becomes a life gain machine, and your opponents start losing life every time they greedily draw those extra cards. We're basically asking them if they want to draw but die. Against mono red decks desperate for card draw, this combo is downright brutal, and I did feel like I was farming them a little bit today. I'm playing Blood Pact 2. This instance says target player draws 2 and loses 2 life. Target your opponent with this, with Shelly on the battlefield, and that's 6 damage to the face for just 3 mana at instant speed. It is nuts and an amazing win con in our deck. Flashy creatures are our plan, so I've brought in Faerie Mastermind for even more card draw when our opponents draw those extra cards. Ertai Resurrected not only counters and destroys things, but also forces your opponents to draw, and it blocks out of nowhere, usually dealing with 2 creatures in the attack. And now we've got the new flashy 2/1, Malcolm Alluring Scoundrel from Lost Caverns. It's a looting machine that fixes your hand and gains you life with Sheoldred, plus being able to cast your spells for free late in the game is a nice touch, even if they're probably going to be taxed for 2 mana. As we're a control deck, I've got Make Disappear and Dissipate. We get away with the more expensive counter spell here as we always seem to have the mana to do so. Cut Down and Bitter Triumph are our removal spells. The 3 life lost is a small price to pay with the Triumph, considering the crazy life gain in this deck. And if you need to discard, we've got Memory Deluge to cover all bases. Although you don't technically draw with the Deluge, it's just way too good not to play in this deck. I've got 24 lands, including Restless Reef, a win con in itself as it's a 4/4 shark with Death Touch. It's my favourite of the creature lands from Lost Caverns and has won me countless games today. So I've made a similar deck around this synergy a while back now, but now with the creature lands and some new cards from Lost Caverns, it is so much better than ever before. I just couldn't not reimagine it. This deck thrives in the current meta, offering some of the best Magic experiences I've had. I'm eager to hear your thoughts in the comments below, and hey, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and drop a like on the video. Your incredible support means the world to this channel, and I will catch you again in the next video. Alright, on the play, with a very keepable hand, gets to drop our Restless Reef on turn 1 as we have nothing else to do. It will be a 4/4 shark with Death Touch later on in the game. But our turn 1 or our turn 2 play is going to be the Loremaster here. Opponent is going to have to decide whether they want to draw an extra card. And they do, which taxes all their spells by 2 this turn. So they won't be casting anything. And they're going to need to discard, and they discard what looks like one of the hairs. Going to decline the offer of drawing an extra card because I want to get this second Loremaster down. And if we can untap and get Shelly down, I mean, that is kind of the perfect start for us here. So opponent is deciding whether they want to draw some extra cards. Will probably mean that they can't cast anything this turn, and they've decided, nope, I'm going to get King Darien down instead, which is fine by me. And for the last time in this game, hopefully, I'm going to decline the extra cards because we're going to drop Shelly here. And I'm going to attack with the 2 Loremasters. Didn't want to attack last turn as I felt the opponent might be playing that white card that destroys target attacking creature. I've seen that several times today. But now if the opponent wants to draw extra cards, they're going to take damage with Sheoldred. Extra damage because they already draw in a card, I guess, in their draw step. But yeah, I mean, Spellbook Vendor, and if they don't have like an ossification or something, we're going to gain 6 life on our draw step. And it doesn't look like they have that. Okay, I feel in a very strong position right now. So we're going to be drawing extra cards here and gaining 6 life. We have an Ertai there, a couple of Bitter Triumphs and Masterminds, all instant spells, all going to be played at the opponent's turn, which is nullifying the downside of Loremaster. This deck is seriously so much fun to play. It is brutal if your opponents start drawing cards and you have Shelly on the battlefield. They opt to create a Wicked roll, or a Sorcerer roll, sorry, for their vendor. And yeah, they really need to deal with some of our board here. It's Mondrak, but we're going to bring Ertai to the party here. We're going to counter Mondrak. We're actually going to force the opponent to draw a card, so they're going to take even more damage with Shelly. And I'm pretty sure... So we've got 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, plus the 4 damage from our land. I guess we need to kill their creatures. I think we can take them down to 1 and then they die in their upkeep. So we can just use our Bitter Triumphs here to take care of their board. So they're going to need an instant speed spell to deal with Sheoldred in their upkeep or they're going to die. This is just showing how cool this deck is. We've drawn so many cards. And we're just going to smash them. And yeah, they take lethal in their upkeep. Alright then, on the play here. We keep hands when we have our Loremaster. So we'll see how this one goes. Just want to hit some land drops. Opponent with a mountain and a Monastery Swiftspear. Okay. Okay, I kind of want to play against Mono Red. We'll play the Loremaster here. And you know what, against Mono Red? I feel like one of the downsides of the Mono Red deck is the fact that they can't easily draw cards. So sometimes they want to take that extra draw step. They don't in this instance. And I guess the 3 toughness on the Loremaster makes it not the easiest cards to deal with. And that they don't seem to have a Lightning Strike as they play their Charming Scoundrel. And they opt not to attack. Suggesting they don't have anything like a Monstrous Rage or anything like that. And yeah, we're just going to sit behind the Loremaster here, drawing cards, playing on the opponent's turn. Opponent has another mountain. And it is Twisted Fealty to steal my Loremaster. So we could make disappear that, but honestly, I don't think I care too much. Well, they're going to just attack us with a 2-3, because we can destroy the Swiftspear. I don't think they can sacrifice it. So I'll just take 3 damage here. And we'll drop our Faerie Mastermind instead. And we find a Dissipate and a Make Disappear. Unfortunately, no 4th land there. Not the end of the world. We're going to just jam, as I'm not blocking this Scoundrel. So what are we looking for? We're looking for land and a Sheoldred. Opponent with Phoenix Chick, we'll let that go through. And they have a Hex Gold Slash to try and deal with our Mastermind. So we could counter that. I don't really want to, because I'm going to be a little bit cheeky. And I'm going to use the Blood Pact, and I'm going to target myself. Although we're going to take 2 damage from this, I really need to try and find a land drop here. We have so many ways to draw cards. I feel that the 24 lands in our deck should be okay. Deck? Okay, well that wasn't the greatest draw in the world. I think we drew like 4 cards and no lands. So we'll attack with the Loremaster, and we might have to start using our counter spells and our removal here instead. We will discard the Deluge and probably this other Loremaster now. But I still feel pretty comfortable here. Opponent with Ojer. Well, we'll just dissipate that one. I don't really want that on the battlefield. And there we go. Finally, we find a swamp. So, not looking too bad here. I probably not going to attack here. I think we'll probably be Ertai Resurrecting if they want to attack, because then we'll be able to... Oh, well, no. We will make disappear the Forge. And yeah, we can't have that one on the battlefield. That one's a bit of a nightmare for us. We won't be able to deal with that attacking us relentlessly every turn. They get in there with their 1-1. But we will drop Malcolm, one of the new additions from Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Pretty nice card. I guess the only downside in our deck is if you wish to cast the discarded card for free after its 4th chorus counter, you are going to be taxed for 2 probably. But we have some creatures on the board now, so let's get rid of that Ertai. And we have a bit of a control-y hand going on here, so we can just control the board until we find a way to go over the top. Put it with Furnace Rains. Well, going to make disappear that, because I don't think we can take too much more damage. And we will definitely be Bitter Triumphing here. I think we'll go to blocks first before we take it out. I was going to take out the Phoenix chick, but let's go to blocks because they're attacking with the Scoundrel, which suggests they've got something in their hand. And we'll just triumph the... yeah, we'll just triumph the Scoundrel as they play a spell in attacks. The Dreadmoor's Ire. Don't really want to take all of that damage, and we've still got 2 creatures on the board. Blood Pact, cut down. Okay, no Sheoldred yet, but we'll attack our opponent down to 8. Draw and discard the Blood Pact. We'll cut down the Phoenix chick now, in case they have any ways to get that out of cut down range next turn. And can they do 7 damage to us? Because we can attack them next turn with our land if we need to, which is going to be 4 damage in itself. Hex Gold Slash, well, that's just going to do 2 damage. So the Loremaster's going to survive here. I think opponent realizes. Churning Reservoir. Okay, so they turned into some kind of variation of a red deck. There we go, with Sheoldred. Alright, we're just going to decline anyway. Or, well, we're not going to be playing any spells, so we will just attack them with our Restless Reef and show the power of this creature land as it rumbles in for 4 damage. Opponent has to mill some cards as well. And yeah, we take down her mono red deck. I was pretty pleased with that one. Alright, on the draw with our Dissipate Tribal hand. We'll keep it. I mean, I'm not really sure what... well, I guess we'll be looking for a Loremaster, but if we were to mulligan and get something worse, I will regret not keeping this hand. Because we already have the mana here to start casting these Dissipates. Opponent with a Bramble Familiar. Looks like we might be up against a Naya deck. We'll just pass the turn. Dissipate if they do anything crazy. What are they going to play? I'm all ready for them. Big score. I think that's crazy enough to Dissipate. We'll just take the 2 damage here from the Familiar. And land is good. Well, I'm just going to play Sheoldred. If they play something like a Dracosaur, we can Bitter Triumph that. We can then start dissipating next turn, but at least we've got some presence on the board here. It's Hulking Raptor. Okay. I would have dissipated that if I could have, but just going to counter whatever they want to cast with the Raptor, I guess. We can just ease off and be a little bit patient in this game. They could be playing like an Atali now. But on its own, the Raptor can just be destroyed with the Triumph. And then we have the cut down available for the Familiar. Pugnacious Hammerskull. Okay. I don't think that's crazy enough to dissipate right now. We can deal with a 6/6 on the board. See if they want to attack. Oh, they do. Okay. Suggests to me that they might not actually have any big spells in their hand, as they'll be willing to let this die to Sheoldred here. But we're going to destroy it anyway. There's a ward here of 2. Also have to discard a card, so probably a decent like removal spell for them, as we had to use a lot of resources to get rid of that. But suddenly they're just down to a Hammerskull. Find a cut down. Okay, well, we're just going to pass the turn here and wait for a card draw spell. Put it down to 15. They've got to think that we might counter whatever they do. Oh, there's Deluge. Perfect. All right. Well, we will, I think Kind of want a Deluge now, but... yeah, I kind of wanted Deluge to try and find a land drop, and maybe one of our flyers, but I think it's important we hold Dissipate open here. Opponent with big score. Okay, well, I'm just going to Dissipate that. I don't normally Dissipate the big score, but they're down to 1 card. They're having to discard to do that. And, yeah. Still no attacks. The 6/6 is a pretty big roadblock for us. But they are slowly dying to Sheoldred here. We get to Deluge, and we'll find the removal spell. And I guess just a flyer here, because we can just fly over the Hammer Skull. We're very close to lethal here with our Bitter Triumph, removing their blocker and getting in there with Shelly, so I'm pretty comfortable and confident I'm going to win this. They do play Rugged Highlands, it gains them a life, pops them up to 8. Not sure what they've got in their hand here. Kind of swerved any chomps they might have, and 2 blood packs. Oh my days. I think this is going to be lethal for us. 3 blood packs. Okay, so each one of those is 6 damage to our opponent's face, and I guess we just go for it straight away. Can't think what they could have. Even if they had a life gain, we have another blood pact, and yeah, opponent is burned out in the end. Alright, on the play here, with a keepable hand, I'm really loving the Restless Reef. I love creature lands in control decks, but I just think this one as a 4/4 is just a little bit pushed. The Death Touch as well is difficult for the opponents to want to attack into, though. Opponent with a couple of swamps. We'll play the Mastermind, and it survives. Okay, I was expecting that to die there. So we'll just pass the turn. If they want to play like a Liliana or something to deal with our Fairy, we have another one to bring out to take that down. But they don't. They play a Bloated Processor. Okay. So that is a Phyrexian. Maybe that's what they're up to. We will cut that down, though, and play the other Mastermind. A couple of these on the battlefield. And I guess we just play Sheoldred as well. And this is quite a lot for them to deal with. Want to get as much damage in before they maybe potentially board wipe, but then we've got the creature land that can attack them down for the last little bit of damage. Opponent has Sheoldred themselves. They were a Dimir deck, it seems, but we can just take care of that and smash our opponent here. Pop them down to 4. They'll go down to 2 in their upkeep. And yeah, we have a creature land here. Yeah, they scoop it up. Very fast win there for our deck. Alright, on the play. Another okay hand. We'll see how this one goes. Again, the Restless Reef. Always seem to draw that. Opponent on humans. Okay. So this is the first time I've played against a real tribal deck. Cavern of Souls is going to mean that our Dissipate is pretty bad. Thalia is going to mean that our instants are pretty bad. So I'm not sure how this is going to go. We'll give it a good shot, though. Gonna need to Bitter Triumph this Thalia. It's going to kind of wreck us if we're not careful. Unfortunately, anyway. And yeah, they've got the 1, 2, 3, the Veteran into Thalia into Adeline. I mean, that's their dream start here. We're going to have to deal with Thalia, even though I really want to get rid of Adeline. But I guess Ertai can deal with Adeline. So maybe we're not in that much of a bad position here. Their life gain is going to be annoying, but we can slowly deal with that. I have to play the untapped land there because I'm going to be Ertaiing here, dealing with Adeline. Going to do it before attacks. They don't play a spell. Okay. Alright, well, we'll see if they use this Plaza of Heroes. I have to go for it, though. Yep. Their legendary Adeline becomes hexproof and indestructible. What do we need? We need to find a removal spell here for Adeline. Cut down is not good enough at the moment, unfortunately. And unfortunately as well, our creature land, although it has Death Touch, requires 4 mana to activate. So we are on defense here. Didn't find our Loremaster in this game. Haven't found a Sheoldred and a Miss Might. Okay. So that's like a removal spell in legendary decks. Gonna dissipate that whilst we have a chance, and yeah. Guess we just cut down the veteran here, save them gaining some more life. And I'm not gonna block Adeline. I just don't want to bother losing my Resurrected, my Ertai here. So we'll take care of a 1-1. This ain't looking good. Okay, they have our Ganjo as well. So we go down to 5. So we find a mate disappear. Again, pretty bad with a Cavern of Souls. It's definitely probably our worst matchup here. But I'm not going down without a fight. We will animate our Restless Reef, take care of Adeline. I guess we could have done that pre-combat. That might have stopped them from attacking and making that 1-1. Maybe not. We go down to 1. They have 4 1-1s on the battlefield. I don't think there's anything in our deck that can deal with that. We will see. It's Memory Deluge, which would take up all our mana. So we'll just pass the turn, and we'll just move on to the next one. Hopefully they don't attack. Well, they do. We'll go out on our own terms, though. Alright then, on the play. This looks good. Another opening hand with Restless Reef. For a lack of 1-drops in our deck, this is the absolute perfect card to play on turn 1. Opponent with a Mountain and Kumano. Alright, are we up against Mono Red? I feel comfortable playing against Mono Red. Just got to be patient. See if they want to draw an extra card with the Loremaster. Big decision for them. They decide not to. They want to play their spells. See if the Loremaster survives. It looks like it's going to. They opted to play a Phoenix Chick here to make it a 2-2. They didn't want to lose the second chapter of their Kumano. And they follow up with another Kumano. Okay, this is going to be a tough game, isn't it? 2 Kumanos and a Phoenix Chick. Will we find a cut down? Yeah, our hand isn't actually too bad. We have the 4th mana. We've got 2 Ertai Resurrecteds. Should be alright. See if they want to draw an extra card here. Fingers crossed they do. They do not. They got some triggers with their Kumanos. So we're going to be playing a very reactive game here. His opponent plays a Monastery Swift Spear, which enters as a 2-3. And they do have a Mountain open. And see what they want to do. Alright, they're going through attacks with everyone, so presumably they've got some kind of spell. Going to try and pull it out of their hands. We'll block the 2-2 for the minute. Okay, they want to play with fire our Loremaster. I will let that go, because we get to take care of the Swift Spear here, and their Etching. Pass the turn. Did I forget to play the I think I had the mana. I should have played the Mastermind that last turn. Oops. They have a couple of creatures on the board, though, and we're going to use the Ertai Resurrected here to clear both of them. Potentially. Opponent with Electrostatic Infantry, okay. So, a slightly different version of Mono Red again. Don't normally see that 1-2. But we will play our Ertai here, destroy that Phoenix Chick, block the Etching. Although we lose our creature, I'm still happy for that to happen. And against Mono Red on, not sure what turn this is, 6 or 7, we're still on 14 life. We have another Ertai if we need it. We also have a land if we wanted to attack, but we'll just sit back and maybe Deluge, depending on what the opponent wants to do. It's an Epicure. Fine by me. And it is Ancestral Anger onto the infantry. I guess not. I don't really want them to draw extra cards. Would be great if we had Sheoldred on the battlefield. We'll destroy that, I think. Yeah, we'll just destroy that. Although they drew in an extra card with the ability of Ertai, I don't really want that thing getting out of control. But we've got another 3-2 on the battlefield, which blocks the Epicure. But opponent has a Braid to deal with that. Okay. So we find a Blood Pact. I guess we just Deluge now, look for a land and a spell. Oh, there's a Loremaster, but no land, unfortunately. We'll take the cut down, as that can deal with the Epicure this turn, and then Loremaster for next turn. So if we found a Sheoldred there, these 2 blood packs would be amazing. They do have a Swift Spear. It's just a relentless surge of creatures for our opponent, but finally, they are out of cards. We got to deal with the Swift Spear. They're going to poke us with their Epicure. So we find a Bitter Triumph. Alright, well, we'll play Loremaster. So this might encourage the opponent to want to draw an extra card, as they are cardless. They decide not to. They must have a good card in their hand then. I guess that's decent for them. Reckless Impulse. Yeah, 2 Ancestral Angers for them. They target their Epicure. Well, we have Bitter Triumph here. To deal with that, we will ditch one of these blood packs. And I think we may possibly have turned this game around here. We're still on 12 life. I can't believe we're on 12 life against this mono red deck. But the 2 Ertai Resurrected were fantastic. And I'm going to start jamming now. So defense is down, but there's no way they can do too much damage to us. Surely they can't. We drop them down to 14. And we're just going to keep doing that every turn. And we've got another creature in our hand that can fly over any blockers they want to pop down. They use their Autonomous Furnace. They may as well, I guess, have just used the Loremaster there. They lost the land. We are giving them the option to draw an extra card. They are declining it. They might got to the point where they just need to do that. Especially as they are probably playing instants in their deck that they could do on our turn, which wouldn't be taxed. But yeah, we'll just rumble with our land again. So this is going to be another 6 damage, potentially. We have to target a player with the mill 4 cards. I guess you don't always want to target your opponent. But we drop them down to 8, and we're going to play the Mastermind on their turn, and then attack for 8 next turn. Opponent with a Painter, Spell Rune Painter, a Werewolf deck. Okay. Against Werewolves, we want to make sure we are casting our cards on our turn, but I think this game's gone on long enough to not let that matter too much. So we find Sheoldred. Okay, so is that lethal? I think it is. We just decline the extra card there. We play Sheoldred, and then we can just attack with the Mastermind over the top, pop them down to 6, then finish them off with Blood Pact. We finally got there. This is our little game-winning wink on, which is just so great, and it's so brutal. They draw some cards and take 6 damage. Alright, on the play. I mean, this is a very control-y opening hand. No creatures for us. But I guess that's fine. We'll play an island. See if they want to play differently by us playing an island. They play an island themselves, and I'm just going to play the Mastermind on our turn. In case they are playing mono blue, I want to start countering my Faerie here. But they're not. They play their Organjo. So a Azorius deck. Okay, well, we'll see if we can find a way to sort of combo win. They might want to start drawing cards if we find the Loremaster, which I'm fine with. Opponent with Sunset Reverie. Well, I'm actually just going to target myself here with Blood Pact. Stop them gaining 4 life. Stop them drawing any cards. Although they get some 1/1s, we got a lot of value out of that ourselves. And we do find a Shelly. Alright, we're in a okay position here. Opponent did miss a land drop last turn. And now we can just hide behind these counter spells. So if they have... Okay, I'm not blocking that, am I? If they have a board wipe available and it takes up their whole turn, we're just going to counter our way, hopefully to win this game. But their attack last turn means we can attack for 6. If they had another, or they did have another Sunset Reverie, they were trying to get some more creatures on the battlefield. I'm not sure if that was the best idea, to be honest. They ended up taking 6 damage to do that. And the Wandering Emperor is made disappeared. And we even get to cast our creature here. And a Malcolm. Okay, this is looking good for us here. Opponent chumps with one of their 1/1s. They go down to 6. If they have a board wipe, a Sunfall or something, we're just going to dissipate. To be honest, we're going to dissipate whatever they do. So I kind of liked our play earlier about our Blood Pact ourselves. If we had Blood Pact in our hand now, we'd be killing the opponent. They play Temporary Lockdown. Honestly, I don't think that really matters even if that resolves, but we might as well dissipate it while we can. And we can just pass the turn here. And opponent scoops it up.